Hey, we're back. We're talking again about collaborate mode, and this time we're going to be focusing on a debate. You ever heard of a debate? It's where two or more people engage in a conversation where they try to prove a point or disprove a point. We'll talk a little bit about how a debate's going to work. I'll use an example for this one where let's say it's my turn to be in charge of the debate, and I hand out the worksheets to everybody, your name, the date. I'm going to assign people to be on the yes side or the no side, and we can talk about what that means. I'm going to also pick one person to be the judge. So if I'm the leader and I think I should be the judge, then I'll just do that. That's okay. Just know that the judge has kind of the hardest job, but it's fun too. A statement is something that you're going to just debate, right? Some people are going to try to say, yes, this statement is true. And some people are going to say, no, this statement is false. So an example of a statement we'll do today is tomatoes are a fruit. So if I say tomatoes are a fruit as a statement, then I could say, yes, tomatoes are a fruit, and I can argue that. Or I could say, no, tomatoes are a vegetable or something else, and I argue against that. So tomatoes are a fruit would be a statement. Here under pre, each person will write what they think their opinion is before they have the debate. So pre the debate, before the debate, they will say, yes, I think tomatoes are a fruit, or no, I think they're a vegetable. Leader, that's my name, so everyone will write my name as the leader. And then text, oftentimes for a debate, you as the leader will find an article or something that has to do with the topic that you've picked. You can give that out to all the other kids and ask them to read it. So that's one of the fun things about being in charge. And when they read it, everybody has to come prepared with arguments for both sides. Arguments, I don't mean like, you're stupid, no, you're stupid, like the way kids might have an argument. But I mean an argument like, these are reasons why the statement, why my answer is yes to the statement. So for example, if I had tomatoes are a fruit and I wanted to say, yes, tomatoes are a fruit, I could talk about how the seeds are on the inside of a tomato. Seeds on the inside means fruit, right? So that would be one example. Or people drink tomato juice. People drink juice from fruits. So you could say, you could make arguments like that. They don't have to be good arguments. You want to think of the best ones you can, because when you make these, you make your points when you give a speech during the debate, you're gonna want to come prepared with the best arguments that you can, so your team wins the debate. Similarly, on the no side, right? You would say tomatoes go in salads. You wouldn't put fruit in a salad; it's a vegetable. Or tomatoes don't taste sweet. They taste more like a vegetable. So you can argue both ways, right? You could say, here's arguments for yes, here's arguments for no. You're supposed to come with 3 arguments for each side, and you prepare both ways. Even though you're only going to argue one of the sides, you want to come prepared so you understand the thinking that goes behind both sides of the debate. So everyone fills this out, and then when it's time to start, here's how we do the debate. The leader will assign each person into a side. So you can typically have, 1 or 2 or 3 or even 4 people on each side of the debate. So on the yes side, there's 4 people. On the no side, there's 4 people. Your team will meet together and come up with who do you want to do the different things, and you can help each other with arguments like, what are you going to say? The debate starts with the yes side, and they give an opening statement. An opening statement is just a speech. They get, in our class, we do 1 minute. If you guys find that you need more or less time, you can do that. Your guide doesn't talk the whole time. All they do is the timer, and they tell you when time is up. So what I'll do as the guide, I will say, okay, yes side, opening statement, 1 minute, go. And then I'll push go. And the person that from the yes side that's going to give the opening statement will stand up there, and they'll start saying, tomatoes are a fruit. Yes, because they have seeds on the inside. And fruits have seeds on the inside. Another reason why a tomato is a fruit is they can be juiced for fruit juice. And people juice things like apples and oranges, and grapes, and those are all fruits. So they can argue those things. The person who's judging, and this is what I meant, the judge has the hardest job, they sit and listen carefully to the speech. And they're writing down in here, in the scoring sheet, they're writing down each argument that the yes side makes. So if they said it's seeds on the inside, botanists classify tomatoes as a fruit because I found this article that said that. or it can be juiced, and I put those down, and I would write each of them down as the person says them. You don't write arguments in here that they don't say, and you don't write anything based on what you think. You just write based on what you hear them say. So your job as the scorer or the judger of the debate is to make sure that you are capturing everything they said. 1 minute is up, the yes side sits down, the no side stands up, someone from the no side, and they get 1 minute to give what's called a rebuttal. I know it's kind of a silly word, but the rebuttal is where they try to argue against the arguments that the yes side had made. So for example, if the person from the yes side had said, tomatoes can be juiced, and so they must be a fruit because you juice other fruits, you could say, well, I know that people drink beet juice and people drink carrot juice. And you could give those examples as those are both vegetables. And so just because it's juice doesn't make it a fruit. So you see how that is arguing against what the person said from the yes side. And then the judge will write them down right next to each other. And based on what they hear and how well it's communicated, they will circle one of them. They'll either circle the argument or they'll circle the rebuttal. And that will determine who gets the point for that particular case. And then each other thing that is said, the same thing can happen. So it could be argument, rebuttal, argument, rebuttal, argument, rebuttal. When you're giving rebuttals, you have to listen closely to what the other person says so that you're able to go through and give rebuttals. When you give your speech, you want to be able to win those points. So if they said something, you want to argue against what they said. Don't worry about making your arguments yet. That comes next. So after 1 minute of rebuttal from the no side, then it's the no side's turn again. A different person from the no side will stand up and give a no speech. And this is the opening speech for the no's. This is where you say, look, vegetables taste disgusting and tomatoes taste disgusting. So therefore, tomatoes must be a vegetable, and you can get as silly as you want when you give this speech. You make your other arguments. And then when you're done, the judge has written them all down right here on the screen, or on the page, not on the screen. They're writing them down on an actual piece of paper. The yes side gets up and they get to do a rebuttal. So they have 1 minute to do a rebuttal against the no side's points. And you, again, as the judge, you're circling which one's stronger as you listen to these arguments. And then finally, at the end, you can have 1 minute for each side. And you can decide who goes first, the yes side or the no side. They get to make a closing statement. And they get to kind of summarize what they've said and try to make it, make everything tie together. And this is where you're writing down maybe new arguments that you haven't heard before. You're writing down additional things over on the rebuttal side, and you're trying to keep track. And by the end, you have a lot of words and some circles. You count up all the circles. So every circle that goes for the yes side, you'll add a point for them. Every circle that goes for the no side, you'll add a point for them. And this is the fun part. You get to go through your whole paper with the whole group, and you explain to them why you gave the points you did and which side wins. Get to tell them how many. Oftentimes it will erupt into cheers or complaints or both. It's really less important who wins, you guys. It's more about the process of learning to think about an issue from both sides and how to listen to someone else and respond to what they're saying. So this is really useful practice for you guys in your life. I hope you have fun debating. It's going to be really great. I want to hear how it goes. So good luck.